913G Gladiator stock RL 107767.
Skip the leftovers and get your game face on at Riverwind.
We're serving big wins and good times all season long.
Play thousands of your favorite games.
And enjoy the best rewards program in the Metro.
The Showplace Theater at Riverwind is the hottest spot for live music.
Don't miss our Digital Dash giveaway every Friday in November.
Play with your wild card to win your share of over $120,000.
The best food, drinks, and service only at Riverwind.
Hey, how can I help you?
Hi, my name is Lisa Standridge, and I'm running for state senate in this area. Just wanted to come by and introduce myself, let you know that I've lived in Cleveland County for my entire life. And what happens here matters to me. I'm a conservative Christian, wife, mother, pharmacist, and business owner. And I would be so honored to represent you and your family in our state senate. You think I could count on your vote?
Absolutely, and I'm going to tell all my friends, vote Lisa Standridge on November 5th.
Paid for by Lisa Standridge for State Senate.
The Sooners aren't the only team in Norman killing it in the transfer portal. Bob Stoops.
You know, in today's world, especially with transfer portals and whatnot, you could change a team in a month.
Dusty Dvorak.
You practice situations with the expectation that when you get into game situations, you go out and execute.
Brian Bosworth.
I went to Oklahoma for the very specific purpose to kick the out of Texas in the Cotton Bowl.
The Ref continues to prove this is the home of Sooner fans.
The Ref Sports Radio Network.
Start your weekend off right at Coach's Corner for their legendary brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 1. You'll love the wings and waffles, catfish and grits, and the fan favorite, the Boomer Burrito. Then stick around for the ultimate game day experience with tons of TVs and the coldest beer in town. There's no better place to catch the big game. And don't miss their Halloween trunk or treat on Halloween night from 4 to 6 p.m. Costumes, candy, and fun for all ages. Coach's Corner located at Lindsay and Barry and Norman, where every day is game day.
For over 80 years, Primrose Funeral Service has been providing comfort and guidance during difficult times. Pre-planning with Primrose can help make things a little easier for families. Not only can you pre-plan a funeral, but you can pre-plan your sunset cemetery arrangements, which removes the difficulty of planning for a loss at the same time loved ones are experiencing one. Contact Primrose Funeral Service at 405-321-6000 or visit them online at primrosefuneralservice.com.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba,
please be done.
Over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The Ref Radio Sports Network is powered statewide by the insurance adjusters at Brown O'Haver. Fire, wind, theft, or tornado, we can help. Call 405-735-5510. Live from the Buffalo Wild Wings Studios, it's time to get locked in to the best Sooner recruiting and football news with Tyler McComas and Parker Thune.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up.
Hit the guys up on the Riverwind Casino calling line at 405-329-9000. Text the show on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439.
Do it! Just do it!
Now, with Locked In, here's Tyler McComas and Parker Thune.
No Parker Thune today, so they stuck me with a 2-star. They gave me 2-star Ted for this hour. 2-star Teddy joins me from 2 to 3 today, and of course from the Rush from 3 to 6. And you know what? You're probably one of the original reasons, and even still today, why we hear it. Forget these 5 stars. We need to get these Oklahoma kids with hearts. Don't care what the stars are saying. You're probably one of the original reasons why that's ever been said.
I don't think that's – you think that's true?
I'm sure because we still hear it today. Get some Oklahoma kids with hearts. An old two-star up there from the northeast corner of the state that panned out. So
It probably has more to do – I mean, yeah, I was a part of one of those classes. Like a couple of those early classes for Stoops had a bunch of those players. No way am I the only one. I mean, those first two classes he had were loaded with Oklahoma kids.
Yeah, and I guess yours, the Rivals goes back to 2002 with the recruiting classes, but you kind of felt like you were one of the first ones there, which I've documented all the 5-stars that have rolled through OU since Rivals has been keeping track since 2002, which we can get to a little bit later. But a happy Halloween to everyone that's out there. 405-651-3439 is the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. We'll have some fun with that today. Talk a little recruiting, maybe talk a little bit of Maine. Can you make this football game exciting for all of us here? I've been talking about it for a few days now, and I'm kind of running out of storylines, and it's just Thursday.
Me? Can I make the game exciting?
Yes, can you make this OU Maine game exciting for the rest of us, please?
Okay, well, let me ask you this first off. What do you mean by exciting?
Something to look forward to, some interesting storyline that is out there going into this game.
What was the last injury report?
What was it right before the Ole Miss game? You don't get one this week because it's not an SEC game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll have to go a different direction.
Hey, we got 4 hours. Just let me know. I'll get you back in the 5 o'clock hour. I'll give you 3 hours to think of it until you.
I can make it interesting. I could give you something interesting.
Well, I hope it's not interesting post game. I hope you're only attempting for it to be interesting before the game and not during or after or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I think I'll say this. I think it's interesting for one reason, at least for me, because obviously the offense, all eyes are going to be on the offense. We fully expect the defense play really well against Maine, right? Everyone would be massively shocked if they didn't. So all eyes are on the offense. And I'm not trying to moral victory this thing, but there were some good signs of life coming out of the Ole Miss game, and particularly from the quarterback position. I think Kevin John's impact on quarterback play, you could see it a little bit in the Ole Miss game. I think you're going to be able to see more of it this week, and increasingly so throughout the rest of the season. So given the opponent and the fact that, we're going to have some good time, more time under his tutelage at the quarterback position, I'm expecting to see one of the better games we've seen from quarterback this week.
Hey, okay. There we go. Some positivity. I like it. QB play is outstanding this week.
Well,
best game by
hang on a second.
Well, I mean, outstanding given what we've seen up to this point. First half was outstanding last week against Ole Miss. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not raising the bar too high. Don't worry about that.
I think there's pretty good potential for some good stuff.
Let's see. Text line, Zach from Guthrie. Damn right, Tyler. Let's get those guys with something to prove and guys that feel like the name on the chest means something. I will say that this team continues to play hard. They do. You can say whatever you want about them, about overall talent or depth or whatever. I don't think that you can really question their at least the majority of the team. And there's not really anyone that I see loafing right now that's playing a lot of snaps. But effort is not something I'm really questioning with this squad right now.
There's been plenty of reason to give up. But I think, in every team, no matter what level, no matter what the success, I mean, heck, you can be undefeated and still have a handful of guys in the locker room that are disgruntled about not getting enough playing time or that they've been benched or whatever it might be. So you're never going to have a 100% totally locked in locker room. I mean, you got 100 individuals in there, and everyone, despite being part of a team, is still going to have their own interest. So that being said, considering the mess we've had this year, I think that the team has represented at least that part of it really well. I do think that these guys are playing hard. I think that, they're doing the best they can, and I don't, at least from what I've seen, it doesn't appear to be any guys that are quitting on their teammates.
Patrick says, so our team isn't hot but has great personality, with the laughing face emoji at the end of it.
But I've got a brilliant personality. Yeah, perhaps. Is that the case? Is that where we are right now?
I think they do have a brilliant personality. And to reflect that brilliant personality, did you just get those 2 photos that I sent you, by the way?
Oh, let me grab the phone.
So the 2 photos that I just sent you is the costume of OU linebacker Danny Stutzman. Do you have any idea of what he's dressed up as for Halloween? Do you get the reference? It's pretty amazing.
He's wearing a Dolphins #1 jersey.
Uh-huh.
And I'm assuming that's an eagle. Is that what that is?
It's some sort of a bird. I mean, you're on the right track there.
Some sort of a bird. Are those Birkenstock sandals he's wearing?
Yeah, I mean, don't pay no attention to those. You're on the right track with the 2 things that you've identified.
I don't know. I mean,
It's a Tua jersey, and he's dressed up as some sort of a bird. Just name a bunch of different birds, and you're basically going to run into it.
It's not an eagle. It's a hawk.
Yeah. Hawk Tua is what Danny Stutzman has chose to dress up as for Halloween today.
Nice.
And he put it on his Twitter page. Very
nice. I like it. That's good.
It's pretty funny.
Nicely done. I'm sure that's a common costume this year.
Oh, yeah. If you're out trick-or-treating tonight, I'm sure that you might see that a few times. Is that what your evening plans looks like? That's kind of, you're right in the wheelhouse for that age.
Yeah.
Your son is, anyway.
Yep, I think we got a little trick-or-treating going on tonight, for sure. Good weather for it.
You should dress up as Rocky Kalmus.
Well, I've been doing that every day since I was 18.
It's true. Wouldn't even be Halloween if you do that.
Right.
Alex from Manford. Teddy is doing 4 hours of radio. So who's taking his spot the next 6 days?
That is a good point. I didn't at the time, but I should have asked for an extra day off next week for this hour.
Yeah. I got a golf tournament coming up next week, guys. Not going to be able to do the Monday after a game. You got Monday off last week.
I think I may be out of the golf tournament, the scramble world for the rest of the fall.
That's fine. I still don't think I've forgiven you for taking the Monday off after easily one of the most frustrating losses of the entire season, the Monday after the South Carolina game. Boy, you really executed that one perfectly.
I don't know what to tell you. Matter of fact, me and my camp have been discussing moving my day off to Monday. Permanently.
Yeah. What's the state of the OU football program? Teddy's moving his day from Wednesday or Friday to Monday after football games. So that's where things are at right now.
Well, things must be bad. I heard Teddy's trying to take off next Monday.
Jeez, man. Yikes. So I have all of the 5 stars that OU has, not ever had, but since Rivals has been calculating the thing
I bet
since
I can
2002.
name every single one of them. How many is there?
There's 28 is how many I counted.
28? Oh, my gosh, maybe not.
Some of these guys are JUCO, though. JUCO 5 stars.
So what does that mean? Does that mean that they just get a rating when they're coming out of JUCO?
Right, yeah, correct.
Okay, the first one is Chijoke as a junior college 5-star.
At least by Rivals, he wasn't listed as a JUCO 5-star. No,
All right, what year did this start? 2002?
2002 class, yeah. It's as far back as they go.
So let's see. You'd have DeMario Pleasant would be in there.
DeMario Pleasant,
Was he not a 5-star?
I do not see DeMario Pleasant on there, no.
Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson, correct, is a 5-star, yes.
You would have...
You have some teammates that are on this list, by the way.
From 2000, so 2002.
Yeah, I think of
recruiting
JUCO
class.
guys that you played with.
Oh, Lance Mitchell.
Yep.
And Pasha Jackson.
Correct, yep, that's two. Two of
Both
those.
of them.
There were 3 in 2002. I'm going to give you the other one because I don't think you're going to get
Well,
it.
hang on. Was it a junior college guy?
I think he was at a high school, I believe.
Out of high school. Offense or defense?
Defense.
That would be – ooh, is that Bassey?
No, it was not. Zach Latimer is who that was.
Ah, Latimer. Okay.
So
Good player.
Here's how OU has fared with 5-stars over the years. You just give me a general thought as I list all 28 names here. If they've hit it big with 5-stars or, there's a lot of players that didn't pan out there. Pasha Jackson, Zach Latimer, Lance Mitchell. Then you have Rhett Bomar, Chris Patterson, Adrian Peterson, Ryan Reynolds, DeMarcus Granger, Gerald McCoy, Mike Reed, R.J. Washington, Stephen Good, Trey Matwire, Brandon Williams, Joe Mixon, Caleb Kelly, Buki Radley-Hiles, Spencer Rattler, Trajan Bridges, Theo Weiss, Jaden Hazelwood, Clayton Smith, Mario Williams, Caleb Williams, Jackson Arnold, PJ, Peyton Bowen, and David Stone are the 28 that I count via arrival since 2002.
That's interesting. There's some names in there that I've never heard of. And then there's some names in there that I'm shocked they were a 5-star. One of the last ones, go back to the latest 5-stars.
You're probably talking about Clayton Smith in 21?
Yes.
Yeah.
He wasn't a 5-star.
In Rivals, he was.
Is that true?
These aren't my ratings. These are their ratings. I just went back and looked at every class and found it.
Okay, that's interesting.
I mean, I say there's some
because we would have
names.
talked about that they were landing a 5-star defensive player.
Oh, I'm sure that we did, but
no, we didn't because he wasn't rated a 5-star at the time.
Okay, I don't know why you're trying to fight when it clearly says that's the case.
I'm just telling you, the text line will fill us in on that.
You can't remember what happened yesterday or last week, and you're trying to argue what happened 2021 when it's clearly on there.
You, we talked about PJ and Peyton Bowen being the first 5-star defensive players we've had in a long time.
I don't know, dude, what to tell you. It is listed on Rivals. All I'm reading, I don't know why you're trying to fight it. I know, yes, he did not end up playing like a 5-star, but it is clearly there.
Okay. Got it.
Jeez. Is this how it's going to go today? All
Got
4
it.
hours? I know we're throwing it back and doing 4 hours like old times, but man.
Okay. So, overall, how was it? Is that what you're asking for the 28?
Yes. That's the direction I was intending on going.
There's definitely, it's definitely hit or miss. I tried to do check marks as you were going for guys that hit. That, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I had 12 that I put a check mark by that I thought we got good play out of, but could probably go back and revisit that a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say there's some Hall of Famers. Adrian Peterson, definitely going to be a Hall of Famer. Gerald McCoy had a great career in the NFL as well. A lot of these guys, though, that, really, not just didn't pan out, didn't even finish their career at Oklahoma. And some certainly with the transfer portal that we're here about 1 to 2 years, and that was about it. So just kind of, and I don't know if you went back and did Florida and Florida State and Miami, and you're probably going to have a lot more 5-stars at places like that, Georgia or Alabama. But what the overall hit rate on 5-stars is for OU compared to that of other schools.
Yeah, that's an interesting, I don't know. You'd have to go case by case. And I would probably bet that my what I would consider a guy that was a hit is probably much lower than what most people would expect. I think most people hear 5-star and think first-round NFL draft pick is what it should be. And I don't think that way at all. I think if you were a multi-year starter and solid contributor, then to me that checks the box.
Oh, well, this is a little bit different because it's JUCO and not coming out of high school. But if I were just to look at Lance Mitchell's career, well, did Lance Mitchell have much of an NFL career? I don't remember him having one. But was Lance Mitchell a good linebacker at Oklahoma? Yeah, I thought so.
Damn straight
I thought Lance Mitchell was a very good linebacker at Oklahoma, regardless of what his NFL career looked like.
That's right. And I gave a check to Pasha Jackson too, who was less impactful. He was a Sam backer, and I would say probably at that time 60% of the time you're in nickel. But he was a multi-year starter, solid player.
Okay, Eric in the OC, Clayton Smith was a baller in high school, and he was a 5-star. Bummer he didn't work out, but he's playing good ball now at ASU, Arizona State.
Yeah.
Well, he's on a pretty good football team right now at ASU, by the way.
Yeah, they've come a long way the last couple of years. They were kind of left for dead there after the COVID situation and all of that. Wasn't a very good place, and Kenny Dillingham's done some good stuff there. I like his demeanor, and he's getting those guys to play hard. And Clayton Smith, really good athlete, had some great length, and I don't know if he just didn't mesh well with the staff and how things were going here or what, but he definitely had some good potential.
All right, we'll get back to the text line coming up next. Throw out some Crootin nuggets as well, but more OU football coming up next right here on the Ref for the home of Sooner fans.
Is spreading, and the Ref Army is growing. Keep telling your friends and family that there's only one station for true Sooner fans, and that's the Ref Radio Sports Network, and worldwide on the KREF app.
Mike Steely here. If you or someone you love been diagnosed with cataracts, well, congrats are in order. Why? Because it's not about just seeing clearly again. It's about a life change. And my man, Dr. B, is here to transform your vision. You could go anywhere for cataract surgery, but why settle? With Dr. B, you've got the chance to not just remove the cataracts, but also to say goodbye to those glasses for good. Give Dr. B a call at 405-755-7700 or visit alcok.com today. Experience the difference with Dr. B and see the world like never before.
Hey, how can I help you?
Hi, my name is Lisa Standridge, and I'm running for state senate in this area. Just wanted to come by and introduce myself, let you know that I've lived in Cleveland County for my entire life. And what happens here matters to me. I'm a conservative Christian, wife, mother, pharmacist, and business owner. And I would be so honored to represent you and your family in our state senate. You think I could count on your vote?
Absolutely, and I'm going to tell all my friends, vote Lisa Standridge on November 5th.
Paid for by Lisa Standridge for state senate.
Serving in Afghanistan, I was shot in the head by sniper fire. I was given a 5% chance to live. I'm Adam Alexander, and I'm a veteran. Today, I visit classrooms and share my story. I tell kids that with a little help and a lot of work, that you can overcome any challenge.
DAV helps veterans like Adam get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is being there for the next generation.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Now. We tend not to think about now. We dream about tomorrow, relive yesterday. But right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory. Learn more at v.org.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Coach Stoops here for Van Hoos Fence. If you want to work with the best local fence company and get championship service, contact my friend Mark and the Van Hoos Fence team. Van Hoos Fence gives each customer the most professional craftsmanship and competitive pricing in Oklahoma. From wood to chain link to vinyl to metal fences, the Van Hoos Fence team does it all. Contact the Fencing All-Americans at Van Hoos Fence, 405-735-1167 or vhfence.com.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Speaking of technology, did you know that RK Black is an authorized dealer for Kyocera copiers? And the Kyocera copiers aren't just copiers. They're smart devices that can scan, print, fax, and email your documents with ease and security. Even better, they're backed by RK Black's award-winning service team that is built on nearly 70 years of taking great care of our clients. Whether you need a desktop printer or a multifunction copier, RK Black has the right product for you. Let's get the conversation started. Give us a call at 943-9800 or visit us at rkblack.com.
Locked in with McComas and Thune, live on the ref for the home of Sooner fans. No Parker today. Two-star Teddy is in, and we appreciate Sam's Southern Eatery for being our restaurant of the day. Sam's Southern Eatery has 2 convenient locations, one in downtown Norman at 408 West Main Street and another in Edmond at 324 West Edmond Road. Mention you heard about them on the ref and enjoy 5% off of your meal. That's Sam's Southern Eatery. They brought in lunch today, and it was fantastic. You missed out on it once again today.
Nice.
If you'd ever show up at
What'd
studio.
you have? What'd they bring in?
Oh man, they had fried catfish. They had they brought some chicken in. They brought rolls in. They brought green beans in. They brought fries in. They brought crab cakes in. They brought gumbo in, rice for the gumbo. Yeah, pretty much everything. Just an unbelievable amount of food that we powered about halfway through.
I like that. I always like gumbo.
Yeah, that's something I probably have twice a year. And it's not like, okay, I'm on a little bit of a gumbo kick this week and then I don't have it for a year's time. It's they're spread out about 6-7 months apart.
Yeah, now that you mention that, I don't think gumbo's like a weekly thing to mix into your rotation.
No.
Because maybe it would get old. Once a month. I'll go with once a month is probably the perfect gumbo rotation, if possible.
And, golly, we haven't been to the Sugar Bowl in a while now, but it kind of felt like there was let me see, you went in 2013, 2016. So there were a couple of years in there, decently close together where you're going to New Orleans for 3 or 4 days. And as someone who really likes Cajun food, but for whatever reason doesn't eat it that much, like going to New Orleans and eating the Cajun food for 2 to 3 days in a row is like, okay, yeah, big time stuff.
Yep. I like it. Good stuff.
Big time stuff. All right, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. And we'll get back to the text line here momentarily. But just, the recruiting class right now seems to be holding up well. I don't know how many new names we're going to find out about until the first the first signing day in early December. But you continue to see positive things come out, and a couple of things have already come out this week of guys who say, well, yeah, I know that an offensive coordinator change has already happened. And I think everyone in the situation knows that another offensive coordinator is going to happen, but everyone still says they're locked in. Here was a headline on 24/7 Sports today. OU quarterback commit Kevin Sperry remains locked in with Sooners despite coaching turnover. And I don't know what the overall thought is right now with the fan base on Kevin Sperry. Maybe there's not much of a thought right now on Kevin Sperry because this season has been so tough. But, it's not a guarantee that you lose, either Jackson Arnold or Michael Hawkins. But that's just kind of, what it feels like it happens in days like this when you've had 2 different quarterbacks start. So maybe you lose one of those guys. Casey Thompson is gone at the end of the year. So I think that actually is very important for this 25 class that Kevin Sperry says, yeah, despite all of this, I'm still locked in because, quarterback-wise next year, you could be in a situation where one of the two between Arnold and Hawkins comes back, Brennan Zerbra comes back, and then you're looking for a couple of more quarterbacks to add in the offseason.
Yeah. Yeah. Quarterback is always an interesting one. And honestly, given the situation we're in right now, going to have to make a new offensive coordinator hire. Most likely, I guess, theoretically, even though I don't believe it's the case, I'm just saying, there is a chance that it stays as is and Joe John, is able to win that job. Just saying. But I could see a situation where both quarterbacks stay. I could see a situation where one of the two, either one leaves. You lose either Jackson Arnold or you lose Mike Hawkins. Or I could see where you lose both of them.
Yeah, maybe. Hope not.
So
yeah, yikes.
I think that everything really is on the table, currently. A lot of it's going to matter what that hire is and who ends up being the offensive coordinator moving forward. And, some guys after the way this season has gone may just feel like they need a new place. I don't know. I guess kind of all options for me are still out there.
Yeah, well, and I think there's so many interesting elements about the, OC hire that I think that they're going to make outside the program in December. And I think that, just about everyone thinks that as well. How much control does that new OC hire have over things, given the situation?
What do you mean?
Do they get to say who stays and who goes in terms of offensive assistants? Or is that not really their choice? It's, hey, we're hiring you as the OC play caller, and here's who you're going to move forward with as your position coaches. And do they have say on, kind of like you said there, well, Michael Hawkins and Jackson Arnold may be good players, but I'm going to bring a quarterback with me that I want to start next year in 2025. I guess I'm kind of curious in that aspect, too, how much control over the offense the new OC is really going to have in terms of, off-season decisions.
Well, I imagine probably a lot, but probably not 100%. I think that there's, just guessing, I would say that there's probably wiggle room on staff that whoever you hire wants to bring. But I don't think and it also depends on who the person is.
Oh, no doubt.
No
doubt.
The higher up the ladder you're going for this type of hire, the more you're probably going to have to give in terms of control.
If Andy Kotelnicki were to get the job, you pull him away from Penn State for whatever reason. I don't think that's kind of like the number one target I would have. He might have a little bit more than someone who's not just feels like they're lucky to be there, but maybe wasn't highly sought after, I guess.
Right. Yeah, so I would, my just general answer is they'll have a lot of control, but it wouldn't shock me if Venables checkmarked a couple of guys and said, I want this guy for this spot and this guy for that spot. And can you work with that? And quarterback-wise, you better have compelling evidence that who you're bringing is better than what we've got.
It's true.
Because what we've got, despite what it's looked like this year, I believe is still really good.
Okay, Eric and the OC. Bring in an OC and let him bring in a quarterbacks coach. Hopefully we keep Emmett and DeMarco. No mention of Bill Bedenbaugh there from Eric and the OC. What's an OC?
I don't know. I think there's debates to be had on a lot of that stuff. And I think that you could say that the current situation, the current way things are going may have a big impact on what you think of the coach, and a lot of that stuff may be out of their hands to some degree. But like I said, you better have, and I would first, I'll say that if you're bringing in an offensive coordinator, my guess is that they'll probably either be the quarterback coach or, yes, they will have, as closely as most OCs work with quarterbacks, they will either be the quarterback coach or their quarterback coach is like their right-hand man that comes with them for sure.
Sure.
And I doubt Venables would push back on that at all.
Well, now we just have a bunch of takes on current staff members going on the text line. I'll read a few of the Mississippi pot roast. I'd rather have Beatonbow than DeMarco, than a nice 100 emoji there. 405, DeMarco, great recruiter, but I don't think he is developed at all. 918, BV is not going to get rid of Bill B, DeMarco, or Emmett Jones, and that's going to limit our OC choices.
Now, read that last one again.
BV's not going to get rid of Bill Beatonbow, DeMarco, or Emmett Jones, and that's going to limit our offensive coordinator choices.
I don't know about that. Matter of fact, I would say that I disagree with that partially.
My guess would be that an evaluation by the head coach, I mean, we've talked about it enough. I think we all know what the situation's going to be going into next year, and he knows that as well, just like the rest of us. I'm sure an evaluation of the entire program and the entire roster, team, like entire everything, will be evaluated at season's end.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. Everything will be evaluated for sure. There's a lot to think about whenever you consider like staff that would stay, staff that wouldn't. I mean, obviously development critical, recruiting critical, game day, what do they bring critical. I mean, there's a lot there for sure that you have to talk about and consider. So I don't know, man. All I know is this is it. I mean, this is the biggest decision Brent Venables has had to make, and I'm sure he's going to be putting a lot of thought into it and making sure he gets it right because he has to get it right.
Nick and Sepulpa, can we go to the former Iowa offensive coordinator, LOL? 3 laughing face emojis. Brian Ferentz, is that who you're referencing there, Nick?
Who is it? Oh, yeah. Probably not. Probably not high on the list.
I would guess not. Is he still is he still with Iowa? I don't even know what he's doing right now.
They may have moved him to like some type of advisory role, but I feel like he got a job somewhere else just off the top of my head, but I don't remember.
Brian Ferentz. I wonder what he's doing right now. This is kind of unbelievable that we're even he is the Maryland offensive analyst right now.
There you go.
Hey, beat Muleshoe earlier this year, huh? Do you think from the offensive analyst role he was like, come on, coach, let's go get after him on the blocked field goal?
Probably. The way I look at it, no way Maryland wins that game without him.
Oh, I think everyone knows that. Whether they're saying that out loud in College Park, Maryland or not, I think that's pretty obvious at this point. 405, Bill B is a great line coach, but there are great position coaches elsewhere. Let's see. Tim from Chickasha, I hope someone evaluates BV because he's part of the problem too. Can't just throw the rest of the staff under the bus without looking at in the mirror at yourself too.
Well, I think that is it's obvious, and I think that Venables he's not stupid, and I think that he knows that wherever they are right now, it's his fault or his responsibility for the results. There's no doubt. The way the offensive coordinator situation went down after Levy, I can understand. I'll say what I said at the time. I understand the move considering all of the variables. Young quarterback that knows the system or has, been learning in it over the course of a year. You're going to a new conference. You want as few changes to what's been going on as possible. So I can understand that reasoning. Well, it turns out that it didn't work. And ultimately, he's responsible for that, and he knows that. I don't think that's any mystery. I don't think Venables is up there in his office saying, well, it's not my fault that pick went wrong. Of course he owns it.
Well, so you're saying he's not Hugh Freeze? Is that what you're saying right there? You're not blaming it on the quarterback every single time or anything like that? That's good. That's good that Brent's not like Hugh Freeze. Good to hear. I like that. I mentioned there were a couple of good news things from OU in the 2025 class. Mentioned the Kevin Sperry one. Yeah. He remains locked in. The other, via social media, Ryan Fogier, an offensive line commit. Someone tweeted out, Michael Fasusi and Ryan Fogier, please don't leave us. Ryan Fogier committed. We're not going anywhere else. Boomer for life. 2 hearts.
Yeah.
Very nice to hear, because if there's a position that, really you want to keep the entire class intact, but if there's a position that you're really trying to keep intact, sure, wide receiver, but it sounds like some of those injured guys you could have back next year. You really need this offensive line class to stay intact, because it's good. It's good class.
And I'll just remind everyone that those guys are as I guess I can't speak for them, but I would say that they're very tied to Bill Bedenbaugh.
Oh, extremely.
So,
there ain't no doubt about that.
So I know everyone is looking at how the offensive line is this year and, wants to move on from Bill Bedenbaugh, but remember that point too.
Yeah, I think that's pretty well known, especially when it comes to Michael Fasusi, that's the case. All right, 405-651-3439. Final segment of Locked In coming up next right here on The Ref.
The word is spreading, and the Ref Army is growing. Keep telling your friends and family that there's only one station for true Sooner fans, and that's the Ref Radio Sports Network, and worldwide on the KREF app.
Hi, this is Monty Markham. Today I want to talk to you about Jonathan Wilk, who's a Republican running for House District 20. I've known Jonathan and his family all my life and have watched him become a true leader in our community. He's been a firefighter, small business owner, and cattle rancher. He's one of us. He's been born and raised in Oklahoma with deep roots in District 20. Jonathan knows what it will take to keep our conservative values in the Sooner State. Vote for Jonathan Wilk on November the 5th, paid for by Wilk House District 2020-2024.
It's back! The Honey Pepper Pimento Sandwich at the 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A in Norman now comes with an original or spicy filet, pimento cheese, mild pickled jalapenos, and a drizzle of honey on a toasted bun. Chick-fil-A is your place for tailgates, team meals, birthdays, celebrations, and all your catering needs. Sandwiches, nuggets, delicious sauces, and gallons of lemonade and tea. Call the 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A in Norman today at 405-310-3189. Eat more chicken and boomers sooner.
Hey Sooner Nation, this is Caleb King Kelly. My wife and I just celebrated our first anniversary, and of course I trusted our friends at Mitchell's Jewelry for the perfect gift. They have beautiful pieces that are unique and affordable, so it's a win-win. Go see Newt and Gina and the Mitchell's Jewelry team at their amazing location on Main Street in Norman. Let them help you celebrate all your special celebrations. You can shop in-store and online, plus see all that's new on their Instagram.
This month, OEC and OEC Fiber are celebrating our service to over 100,000 Central Oklahomans. We've been providing affordable, reliable electric service since 1937, and we've now connected over 40,000 subscribers to high-speed internet, TV, and phone services. We're proud to continue the tradition of excellence, affordability, and reliability for those we serve across Central Oklahoma. We know when our communities thrive, we thrive. Visit okcoop.org or oecfiber.com to experience the difference. OEC and OEC Fiber, that's the power of connection.
Matthew.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I just need you to listen to me.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
As we wonder why our kids are struggling, someone is getting bullied. As we discuss how to improve their mental health, someone is being harassed on social media. As we wonder why they're skipping school, someone is crying themselves to sleep. Knowing the signs is the best way to prevent bullying.
Please just leave me alone.
Learn the signs at sandyhookpromise.org.
Dorsey Jones, Buick GMC in El Reno, bringing this hour of Locked In with McComas and Thune. Dorsey Jones is family-owned and operated, established in 2020, but many of their employees have been there for more than 20 years. They sell Buicks and GMCs, which are some of the best trucks and SUVs on the roads. That's Dorsey Jones Buick GMC in El Reno. Update from yesterday, I calculated all of the votes. We do have a winner for K-Ref Recruiter of the Month.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, Porter Moser. But it's going to Patty Gasso. Patty Gasso, K-Ref Recruiter of the Month for the month of October. A couple of 5 stars and a 4-star. She does it again. Just on a roll.
I mean, it's unfair, though. I get it, and it's the right pick, but isn't it unfair?
Why? Because she's so good that we need to limit her success down so everyone else can have a chance? The program she chooses,
Yes.
The program recruits itself. Hey, I just left it up to a vote. Don't blame me.
Exactly. She gets the Recruiter of the Year. You can give her that one, but she can't steal it every month, can she?
Well, normally it's kind of a football. But we look at it normally from a football lens, but they didn't really get anything this month or last month. So it's like, all right, well, who else? Let's open it up to others on currently on campus right now. Oh, Patty got 2 5-stars and a 4-star this month. Yeah, let's do that.
Shocker.
And like the 25 class, I think she has the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3 overall player committed. It's just incredible, man.
Beautiful.
It's incredible. Okay, this one says 940. Is Willie Korn on the radar? Willie Korn is his name's at least been thrown out here among people that are covering it and following it as the next offensive coordinator. It's funny that text rolls in because, dude, let's just say that Willie Korn is on the radar, OC at Liberty right now. It feels like since the firing of Seth Luttrell happened, every quote unquote target or someone that's on a hot board that's been playing on a Tuesday or a Wednesday night ends up losing. Well, I want to watch G.J. Kinney, Texas State. Maybe he'll be our next offensive coordinator. They lose a couple of nights ago. Willie Korn lost last night. He lost last week at Liberty as well. I think they lost to Kennesaw State or something like that. So it's a bad thing right now to be on OU's radar and be playing these midweek games because all those guys are losing, it feels like.
Yeah. What do you think of the Willie Korn situation? He started off as he played quarterback a little bit at Clemson, got injured, then went to Marshall. Charleston Southern was his first job as wide receiver coach. Then that was 2013 to 16. Then 2017 and 18 was a wide receiver coach at Coastal Carolina. And then 19 to 22 was the co-OC quarterback coach at Coastal Carolina. And then 23 to present, co-OC quarterback coach at Liberty.
I mean, I think Willie Korn's fine. I mean, he's not at the top of my wish list, to be quite honest with you, for the next OC. Yeah. Here's kind of my overall question with Willie Korn. And I think we tend to do this in a lot of times when a position coach is open is, okay, do we always look at who the best candidates are, or do we immediately try to find a tie to the university or to the current head coach? And I guess that's my question with Willie Korn, with everyone who keeps throwing out his name, is do you just think that he'd be awesome as an OC? Do you feel like he has a track record that warrants serious talk as the OU offensive coordinator? Or are we just saying Willie Korn because he played quarterback at Clemson at one time and has some connections to people on the staff?
Who does he have connections, though?
Well, I mean, I'm sure. What years did Chavis play? Like, he and Chavis may have had some overlap there, or just some other guys who were at Clemson at that time. Because Brent wasn't there yet when his last year at Clemson.
I'll tell you how I view it. I think first and foremost is what qualities do you bring? Are you the best candidate for the job? First and foremost. Now, the connection thing, I think, is a factor often because maybe you're more likely to be able to land that guy if there is some type of connection than if there's not. And maybe that's not a factor at all. Maybe it's just money talks, right? And money talks, opportunity, all of those things, and the connection thing doesn't really matter. But I think it's kind of natural just to say, hey, that may be an option because, you go with people that you know a little bit more about. And if you've got a deeper history with someone and really do trust them, then perhaps you're more likely to do that.
Yeah, and maybe he is a serious candidate. I think he's on a lot of people's hot boards at this time. But I guess I haven't, and not that this makes the decision, I haven't really heard very many people say, yes, Willie Korn is the number one hire. That's the guy. If they get that guy, that's the best possible hire that they could get.
Right. No, I haven't heard that either. I haven't heard. The only things I've heard for that, the best possible hire they could get is Kingsbury and Kotelnicki.
Yep, I would agree with both of those. John from Tulsa, here's an NFL guy. You mentioned Cliff Kingsbury. John from Tulsa says, I love the idea of getting an NFL guy as well. If the Giants fire Brian Dable, that's a guy I would kill to have as our offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He was at Alabama one time, correct?
Yeah. My advice, if anyone were to ask for it, I would suggest very, very, very strongly that the University of Oklahoma move that direction with what offense that they
You talking about like more
decide
pro
to
style?
employ.
Is that what you?
Yes.
Yeah. You don't mean bringing Daniel Jones as quarterback. That's not what you mean. Move that direction.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
I was hoping.
I
not.
could sit here and I could talk about that for hours about why they should move in that direction, but whatever.
Well, we got 3 more left. We'll just go. I'll just skip all the breaks till we get to Coach Stoops at 4:50 today. Just let you have at it for 2 straight hours.
Yeah.
Eric and the OC, there are laughing faces emojis after this, so I like that. But it says, can you get Joe Brady to leave Buffalo? I mentioned yesterday it is officially Joe Brady season.
Right.
Joe Brady wasn't even, people give him the majority of the credit, I feel like, offensively for that 2019 season at LSU, and Steve Ensminger was really kind of the play caller / OC that year. But people are still obsessed with Joe Brady. Eric and the OC's kidding because he gets the joke, but we're going on about like year 5 now. What's going on with him, with Joe Brady?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know a whole lot about his offense, but I know he's been he was the offensive coordinator at Carolina, and then now he's the quarterback, or he was the quarterback coach at Buffalo, and then last year was interim, and now he's been bumped up to full-time offensive coordinator. So, I mean, he's doing enough to hang around there. I mean, it probably has more to do with his quarterback than anything, but, that's just – I don't know.
You think Joe Burrow and Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Thaddeus Moss and that offensive line maybe had something to do with it as well? I mean, you can't knock an offensive staff for having those types of players. They got him there, but at the same time, it's like, geez, who couldn't have called that?
Well, he got him there, and whoever you want to give the credit to, it very easily could have not gone nearly as well as it did because it went damn near perfect.
Yeah, like how you're hoping it would go. Like, man, if everything goes our way, it's going to look like this. Well, that's what happened that season.
And, here's the thing. Did it with a quarterback that, I don't know how you would view him. Like, he almost cast off from Ohio State, right?
Well,
to some degree.
Not only cast off from Ohio State, and I think Nebraska fans still probably get upset about this. I think they had two different times to say, all right, Joe, because was it his uncles? Did his dad play there too? I think his uncle played there. Whatever. He had a family connection in Nebraska, and I think he tried to go there after high school or out of high school and after he left Ohio State, and they said no both times. So, he was even like Nebraska was like, yeah,
Dude.
We think we have better options.
If that's the case, Joe Burrow needs to send like 20% of his contract every year to Nebraska for turning him down. Thank you so much. Had he gone to Nebraska, probably never would have been heard of again.
Maybe not, but maybe he's so legit that he would have got Nebraska to 6-6. Maybe that's how good he was.
6-6, and he could have been a undrafted free agent and cut after training camp somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
Probably so.
940, let's just get JT Gasso to coach the offense. Hey, the numbers speak for themselves. JT Gasso, the best in the sport.
There you go.
Offensively. He's amazing.
I totally agree. I am curious, though, what the carryover is from softball to football.
I'm not worried about the carryover whatsoever.
We'll deal with that when we get there.
It's fine. Yeah, it's okay. We'll worry about that later. I don't think there is a carryover, to be honest with you. I think if you can coach players like Jocelyn Allo and all the home run hitters that they've had over the years, and it'll be just fine. Big play offense is back. Big play offense is back. 405 says, A, what the hell is Kalmus doing on so early? B, Belichick. Did you see what Bill Belichick's ex-girlfriend is dressing up for as Halloween?
No.
She is dressing up as Uma Thurman's character in Kill Bill. So,
okay.
Not so subtle there after Bill's got a 23, 24-year-old girlfriend right now.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, that's
we're on the Temple. We're on the Temple. Could you imagine that at the press conference saying we're on the Temple? We're on to Ole Miss. That'd be fantastic.
I haven't seen any of this new. I don't know if it's a series or what it is about like Aaron Hernandez.
Oh my gosh!
But I've come across a couple of the clips like on Twitter. It looks like the local high school drama department decided to shoot a TV show.
The guy they got to play Gronk. I'm sure you saw that scene when he's talking with Aaron Hernandez.
All of it.
All of it, man. It's like so bad that
the football scenes are like, what are we doing?
But the guys that they have to play, Gronk or Brady or Bill Belichick or all of these guys, it's so bad. It's like I've got to put time aside to watch this. I mean, it is incredible how just big of a miss that it is.
Part of the problem is you can't really – it's very difficult to have someone play these massively famous people that are still kind of fresh in your mind, right, and that are still kind of involved in pop culture because no matter who you pick, it's probably not going to end up being close.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, The Rush is coming up next. Keep the text coming, 405-65.